But we need to begin with this new threat from North Korea because it was published in English earlier this morning. And I'm going to read a bit of it to you now. It says the DPRK has clear evidence that the U.S. administration was deeply involved in the making of such dishonest reactionary movie. They're talking about the interview. It goes on to say later, the army and people of the DPRK are fully ready to stand in confrontation with the U.S. in all war spaces, including cyber warfare space, to blow up those citadels. This is a long statement that was published. So let's go straight to Kyung Lah, CNN's correspondent in Seoul, South Korea. You're up late with us, and thank you for being here. When you read this statement, what were the big takeaways to you?
Well, I thought that the usual writer for the DPRK has finally come back from vacation, because we're seeing that bellicose, saber-rattling, the typical rhetoric from North Korea. They are upping the ante. It is just like the rhetoric we hear whenever North Korea attacks, whenever they lash out, and they are at their very best here. A couple things to note. It did come out in English, Brian. You're right about that. It came out a couple of hours ago, late here in Korea. The audience is absolutely not the domestic audience. It is for America. It came from the National Defense Commission. This is essentially the agency that, as far as we know, runs the military, the Pentagon, if you will, speaking directly for Kim Jong-un. And the other thing that I really note about this is that they are trying to up the ante. North Korea craves attention, and they are saying, okay, everyone's concerned about cyber attacks. Well, we're going to make it worse. I mean, they say that they're going to wage war against the White House, the Pentagon, the U.S. mainland. I mean, it is typical North Korea language. But at the same time, we have to remember this is a brutal regime. What they say you have to take with some sort of seriousness. And the fact that they have been so successful with Sony Pictures, you know, so how much of this rhetoric can they actually achieve? So there is this crazy over-the-top language that they throw out there, but there is some seriousness we have to take away from that.
What is the significance, Kyung, of North Korea claiming that the government, the U.S. government, is behind this movie?
Well, they really like the idea of everything playing into the U.S. government, that everything that every American does, every negative piece of whatever, points directly back to the United States, because that's how North Korea works. Of course they think it goes back to the head of the state. So that doesn't surprise me at all. That to me is part of the ridiculousness of North Korean thinking. What we have to take away from this is not that. I think the important thing for people to take away is that bottom part of the threat, where they do say that they are going to escalate the cyber war, escalate the attacks. That's what I think the White House is going to walk away and wonder, how serious is North Korea about that? What is the next attack going to be?